Hi, this is Holly Marie Industries LLC. I've got a video here that I've already made, but I made it without sound, and I want to be able to try to explain to you exactly what you need to do when installing the new design Dixie Sid lock. I'm using a laser here. That's the red, to show you exactly where I'm working at or talking about. Right from the get-go, these doors will need to have the retainer used because of what I see. Now, what is the retainer? Retainer's that thing in my right hand, right there, and that's exactly a 1/2 inch in width, and it's got to go in this area here between this door and this door, because this door's edge does not line up flush. If it lines up flush, you can throw that in the garbage. And that's why I sell these separate, because the installers would rather just have a bag full of these ready when they need them rather than throw them away. Thus they can actually purchase the lock for less money. This part right here increases the price of the entire kit substantially, and most of the time it's thrown away. I have been on jobs where I've had to put these on 2 out of 3, 1 out of 3, and sometimes 0, because this will line up perfectly. But this right here where the light's going shows me that this edge here of the secondary door on the right is going too far over, approximately 1/4 of an inch. This is going to move it over a full 1/2 inch, so you have to move your lock to the left a 1/2 inch. And as you watch the installation, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now I'm going to balance it on that pin and stick it. I recommend sticking it just as tight as possible to the right, so that that retainer doesn't even fall out even if you remove the pin out of it. Because you can always push that door a little bit enough to get that thing to go down and lock snug. See how it fell out? But that's okay. I know it was snug enough to work fine. But see how it pulled down nice and smooth right then. It pulled down real smooth on here. I like it to jump over this edge a little. See, it even moved a little then. But for this video's sake, I just went ahead with the video because I do know that that's going to work properly. Now I'm going to advance this just a little bit because I had to fight with my drill bit to get the chuck out and in. Now, using a drill to put these screws in is fine and dandy. This is blurred, even on the original, but you'll get the idea. Allow the drill little bumps and allow that chaff to fall out. You see little pieces of chaff will fall out when I'm installing this. Right there's a little piece that fell out. I just run it at a slow RPM. You see more chaff fall out. Chaff is the aluminum that's caused from the self-tapping screw drilling a hole. And you want to set your drill to a point to where it won't over-tighten, of course. The best method, the absolute surefire method though, is using a 3/30 size drill bit, or even a 7/64 drill bit, which you can buy at any of your home supplies. Watch the chaff fall from this one. You see it? Now, if that gets behind the lock surface in the door, that screw is not going to tighten. It's not a problem with the screw, it's just a problem with the direction and how fast you're running it. The drill bit gets all that out of your way. And always when you're using a drill bit, use a sharp drill bit, brand new. And Then you can apply very little pressure, and you hold back on the drill so that when it does break through, it doesn't fly through the other side. You brace it with your shoulder and your elbow. I'm going to run this back one more time so you can see this video real quick from the get-go. Place it. Push in on it so the adhesive holds it where you want it. Go ahead and mount your screws on your drill bit on your drill. And always go for the middle hole first, because your left and your right are actually, most of the time I even drill these for 30 years, I only put 2 screws in, one on the right and one on the left. I didn't bother with the one on the left. Even if there's one on the center and one to the far left, the lock's not going anywhere. The pressure is not applied in that direction if somebody tries to open it. And I've got these holes extra long slotted so that you can go down even far. That glass is way up here somewhere. There's no way you're going to hit the glass on this style doors. Now the new Hurricane style doors, this ain't going to work because they've got a plastic that runs way down here somewhere, and I don't recommend trying to put these on the Hurricane style doors. I have another lock that I believe is going to work good for that. I'm not going to talk about that right now. It's in the developing stage. Again, a 3/30 is the size drill bit. Double check in the description below, because I'm going to double check that. I looked it up a couple weeks ago, but I want to double check my numbers and make sure I'm telling you the right drill bit. You see all that chaff falling off of that. But when it bites, you can tell. It just nails down real hard. And that position right there is where you open the door. When you get ready to open the door, right there is where you want the lock. Up. And then you don't even need the lock that came on it, because basically the lock that came on it wasn't worth a dang when you got it. Because they open them with a cat's paw. They put a little pressure underneath this edge down here at the bottom on the opposite end of the door, and pop, the door slides right open. Now another thing I want to make sure that I add to this video, comment that I add, is because these locks are located down at the bottom corner, it's up at the top right hand corner. Now you see the light. When you go up and you want to go all the way over here, I know you can't see the light, but all the way up from here up to the corner top edge of the door up there, that's usually where your magnetic alarm switches are at. The burglar tries to open this door with, let's say for instance, the new so-called deadlocking system. I think it's called a bull lock, or the other one, the female. And what happens is the door won't budge at all. So therefore it's not going to set off the alarm. This, however, will cause the door to jackknife that direction about that much. Now what they've done is, number one, they're not going to get in. Number two, they just triggered they called the police. They're already on their way. They're stuffing down their donuts and coffee, and they're on their way. Now with the deadlocking system, the door doesn't move. Then they have time to mosey around the rest of your house and find another leak in your castle. And that's what you don't want. So, in reality, with the SID, the Dixie SID lock, not only do you have your doors locked, but it's an alarm switch. They bump that lock, bang, they've triggered the alarm. The police are on their way, and end of story. Thank you very much. 772-335-5555. As for me, my name's Richard. I'll explain anything that you need to know.